Right, everybody, I'm back with the Bond reviews and that, and I've had a bit of a busy week with screen capture, so I'm doing the 1954's Casino Royale, which is on YouTube anyway, so which I'll be showing, so I can didn't have to really take any screenshots. I can just fast forward bits of the film. Well, yeah, it's the American James Bond. That got done in the 1950s by CBS or something. It was pretty much as like the book, but it was changed a bit though. So the book Casino Royale and both the films are quite similar but changed differently. So there's not like it being an exact copy. But yeah, good version of Casino Royale for the 1954's. Is the cast and all got a pretty good cast because let me get this up. Here we go. Yeah, here's the cast. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, Barry Nelson as James Bond, Peter Lorre as the Le Chiffre, Linda Christian as Valerie Mathis, a composite character of Vesper Leonard and Reed Mathis, which I'm not exactly sure the link. They're saying they changed their name, and then William Lungdon as a host himself. He's sort of um, talked about it at the beginning and at the end, sort of thing. So he's sort of like the host, and Michael Pate as Clarence Leiter, because because Bond's American now, and so Felix Leiter's British, and so they didn't call him Felix Leiter; they called him Clarence Leiter. And Eugene Borden as Chef de Petty, Jean Delbel as Cropper, Gene Roth as Basil, Kate Kitchen as Zoltan, Jürgen Trench as Schultz, and Herman Bellman as Dorman. So yeah, not the greatest of actors and that, but good enough for a TV program. But apart from the dude who plays Le Chiffre, And I don't know if there was all that famous, might have been one of them where they got their starring break, but 1950s or so, they might have done a good sort of had a good career in that, but 1950s sort of films where I'm not too fucking clued up on the 1950s sort of era. But great fucking TV because it's only on for 1 hour, so it was like a TV sort of fucking production. So they didn't have loads where you see sort of like it's all set in sort of like the hotel sort of thing. So they didn't have like big budgets around to do what Bond films usually are known for. Because when this film was done and all, I think Casino Royale was the only book released by Ian Fleming. Like, I don't know if Doctor No had been released. Or if Doctor No had been released. It'd just been released and that. And so they couldn't really do a film about a book straight away. They had to, like, let the book sort of, like, get fucking bit popular in that. But Casino Royale, because that had been out probably a year or two, it become popular, and so it was like, oh yeah, well we'll make a film about this. Because let's show window. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Barry Nelson sort of thing. When they go through, yeah, climax. Sort of fucking. Yeah, there's a dude who he's comes out the 1950s where it was like, oh yeah, we need a host to explain to these people that what they're watching is from a fucking it's a story from a book, just in case I think it's real life. Because back in the time when TV was invented, some people didn't realize that some of it was just movies and films. They thought like sometimes it was documentaries, and it was hard for them to distinguish between a documentary and a film. So they get like a person on to like tell them, oh yeah, no, this is a story that was written by Ian Fleming. It's about a agent called James Bond. Don't say British agent because obviously he's not a British agent in this version. Even though originally from the book he is written as British, but you know what the Americans are like? It was like, hell, we ain't watching no goddamn Lammy. We want an American James Bond. So they're like, all right then, yeah. We'll make James Bond an American. And yep, as I say, if you've seen or read the book Casino Royale, it's pretty much the same. It's all about James Bond having to play baccarat against Le Chiffre to stop him earning loads of money. He's gonna like fund a war. And so Bond, he has to go in there and win the money off him. Or Le Chiffre's gonna start some war. I forget exactly what war he's gonna start because it was set in the 1950s and that. But he's gonna start some war in Europe, I think. So is there anyone in the chat? Nope. Yeah. So it starts off like he's telling the viewers, "Oh yeah, this is just a film and that." Yeah. So you see James Bond coming to like this casino where you see Clarence Leiter and that talking to Valerie Mattis and that. Where then Bond comes in. Like says, "Oh yeah, he's come to play and that." Give him the money. You know, like it's where they're at the table and that, and like yeah, Clarence Leiter starts talking to Bond and that, saying about the Chiefs fucking doing real good, and he's looking like he's taking the table or whatever. So I'm like a little better than that. Well, the Chief don't. I mean, Clarence Leiter doesn't really know how to play baccarat much. Well, the Chief like starts talking to Valerie Madison that, saying like, "Oh yeah, go over to talk to Bond," because the Chief knows that Valerie Mattis was like Bond's girlfriend, even though the more later on Bond, he doesn't really have girlfriends. They know, like, yeah, he's just a secret agent shag machine. But in this version, it's like the first time, and so people think like, oh yeah, it's his girlfriend, but really, he don't give a fuck. Well, he does, but not if like it's going to jeopardize his mission. Nope, that's the wrong one then. Anyway, Bond orders a vodka martini, and Clarence Leiter's talking to Bond and that, telling him like, oh yeah, need to get like fucking money off the sheath and that. And he says, oh yeah, I hear that you're real good at baccarat and that. Can you teach me some tips and that? Like, he starts to say, yeah, okay then, okay, because Felix Light, or should I say, Clarence Lighter now is British because Bond's American now. Like, yeah, like keep talking and that. I'm good acting and that. Barry Ward, I think his name is, who plays Bond or whatever. He plays a good sort of like Bond. Apart from the accent, obviously, because he's playing an American Bond because he's an American. Like, but has the sort of like right sort of look and persona and that of Bond. Yeah, get talking and that still laying about all the storyline about like, yeah, they've only got so much money and that, and about the sheets being really sort of careful and that he's got like loads of men around him. You don't want to take any chances and that. Well, gets to a stage where um, Valerie Mattis comes over. They've been like talking about the Chiefs sort of plan to just win loads and that. Saying about how he's got so much and he only needs he's nearly at his oh limit. He's like oh he's nearly got his enough money anyway. So his goal, that's what he's nearly at his financial goal tally that he wants to get. So Clarence Light is telling Bond like, yeah, if if he ain't stopped in that soon, he is gonna start a war. Well, anyway, then Valerie Mattis sort of comes along and she's all like, "Oh, hello, James," and that. You remember me? And he's like, "Yeah," sort of thing. And he's like, how could I forget you? My like good luck charm. Where Clarence Lighter, he's like, "Oh yeah, I won't mind a good luck charm." Like, well, Clarence Lighter leaves and that, and so does the sheath sort of thing, goes to the room. Well, Bond and Valerie go up to their room, and that where Bond's catching up a bit on old times and that. Well, they get in his room and that, and he puts on some music real loud because he knows that the chief's bugged his room where Bond, like she says, "Oh yeah, you live for danger," in that, where Bond gives her a kiss and that, and tells her, so like, "Oh yeah, this is bugged in that the room," and what do you want, sort of thing. And she tells him that he should not play against the chief, and that where Bond's like, "Oh yeah, well, I am gonna play against him," sort of thing. Well, she's like, "Well, don't, because fucking he'll kill you." And Bond already knows this because he's a British agent, but she's just there to like get in his head because you find like the chief sent her to try and persuade Bond not to play against him because the chief sort of knows that James Bond is good at fucking baccarat, and so he don't want to take the chance of playing against Bond. So he tries to like persuade Bond to just leave it. Where Bond's like, "Oh no, no, I'm like living for danger and that." Well, Valerie, she's like, "Well, um, if you love me in that, you 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 won't do it." Well, Bond's like, "Nah, I don't love you," sort of thing. Well, um, they're listening because I say it's bugged, but because the music's on so loud, they can't hear exactly what they're saying, but they've got a rough idea. But not exactly because he he's sort of like whispering and that, and then talking loud, so they're hearing part of the conversation. Well, anyway, Bond says like yeah, he does love her and that sort of thing, and that like yeah, he's still gonna play against the chief though. Well, they go outside and that outside the room, and Valerie, because Bond, he like knows, oh yeah, she's been sent by the chief to like persuade him not to play. So then, as he's outside the room, he like says to her, "Is there anything that you said back there that was true?" Because he knows like she's just there to fucking persuade him not to play. Well, she says, "Yeah, that the chief will kill him," and that where Bond's like, "Oh yeah, that's the way I roll, baby," and goes into his room. Uh, then Valerie goes to the chief's room where the chief tells her he was listening, but he didn't have any visuals, so he asks her if Bond still loves her and that, where she sort of like doesn't really know, but and then yeah, they listen to Bond's phone call and that, and yeah, saying like, um, like he hopes that Bond loves her sort of thing. Well, Clarence Leiter gets his cash and that, and he's on the phone because he's gonna play, but then a dude comes up behind him with a gun and wants the money that he's got because he knows, like, oh yeah, that's gonna be getting played against the chief, and this is like the chief's one of the chief's guards. Oh, the phone rings, and when the phone rings, the one of the like entourage dudes who work there goes to answer it. Well, when he goes to answer it, Clarence Leiter says, "Oh, can you put this in the bank for us for James Bond? It's his stake to play against tonight, sort of thing." So the entourage dude sort of takes the money to the casino's bank where it's cashed in, sort of thing. Or it's placed in to be like used for Bond later on. Well, the dude don't shoot him because he's like, it's too of uh like pointless sort of action at that stage because the money's gone. So yeah. But anyway, Clarence and Bond are talking. Gamma sort of tells him what happened and that. So it's like, oh yeah, be careful. The chief's after you. He's up to loads of dirty tricks and that. Well, Bond sort of like goes over and sort of talks to the chief, where the chief says, "Oh, it's not his real name; it's just a nickname. It means the cipher." Where I don't know if he was siphoning petrol that he got that name, but anyway, the chief sort of like tells him like, "Oh yeah, I'll be like fucking looking forward to playing you and that shit." But Bond like goes down, and this is pretty much, apart from Bond being American, this is pretty much like what happens in the book. Pretty much. Well, Bond gets a phone call where in the newer version he gets drugged and he has to go to the car, but in this it's just so he gets distracted a bit. Goes back. Yeah, and Casino Royale Act Two, where start dealing and that. And this is really what Casino Royale, the book, is all about. Really, is this sort of like scene where, well, not all of it, but this is sort of like the main sort of fight. Even though they're not fighting, they're just playing cards. But this is the main battle against the bad guy who Bond's sort of like winning a bit, but he starts to lose. Where he gets to a stage where okay, he has to like fucking like some more money. That's given to him by Valerie Mattis sort of thing, because she's working for the French. Yeah, well, yeah, the note says, okay, just um, this is this is to like fucking win against the chief. So the chief's pretty confident at this stage because like he's just cleaned Bond out. So he's thinking, oh yeah, Bond isn't as good of a player as I thought. Well, yeah, you go. Yeah, here's 30,000 francs. You have to win. Yeah, that's the letter he gets. So this is his last chance now. This is his 30 million francs or 35 million francs he's got. That gets it like cashed in and that. Oh, chipped in sort of thing. So you at the table. Starts playing and that. And his mate comes along, sort of like gets told, oh yeah, stop Bond. Well, Bond starts to win a bit and that. The chief sort of has a bray. So look, yeah, I think he wins like yeah. That's where he wins from Le Chiffre and that. So he's took Le Chiffre's all of his money, and then this bit is in the book, but it's changed slightly because in this version, the walking stick that gets shoved into the back of Bond is a gun, but in the book version, it was shoved in his back, but it wasn't a gun. It was just told to James Bond that they've got a gun in your back, and he feels like sort of gun pointing in his back, even though it's not a gun. It's like a stick. But Bond don't know. He just feels like someone pointing in his back. Well, this happens in the book where Bond just sort of like throws himself back. Oh, the fucking thing there. Yeah, like throws himself back, and yeah, that's the fucking thingy probably. Yeah, he like throws himself back onto the sort of cane, which the dude drops the cane and runs off, and then the staff sort of come and pick up Bond, where Bond says, "Oh yeah, I'm all right," sort of thing, and then goes to look for the dude, but Clarence Leiter stops him in that and asks him where Valerie Mathis is. Well, she's gone with the sheath and that. And so Bond goes in and cashes out his winnings. Then, like, goes to try and find Valerie. Well, Clarence Leiter, he goes up to a dude. He's trying to find Valerie. And he sticks the walking stick gun at the dude and, like, tells him, like, um, sort of like, where's Valerie and that. And he says, "Oh yeah, she's gone with the sheath." So he phones in, sort of thing, say, "Oh yeah, fucking Bond's one and that," but still a bit crazy sort of situation going down. Well, Bond gets the check in that, and he puts it, which in the film, in the book, he like puts the check inside the door number by like unscrewing it, the plate a bit, and then putting it behind the door number plate on the door, because he's got the in that 80 million francs he wins in that. Yeah, there we go. Takes the plate off and has folds up the check behind it, and then by the way, no one sees him neither, apart from Valerie Mathis sees it, he had a screwdriver, but by the way, a bit of a conversation goes on, and that where Valerie Mathis comes in to try and tell Bond to give up the check. And that where the chief comes in with his sort of like guards and that, where he tells Bond like, "Oh yeah, give me the check because I'm not messing around. I'm going to shoot you. Yeah, you won it, but you ain't going to be keeping it," sort of thing. Where Bond's like, "Oh no, I'm not giving it up." Well, the chief's like, "Well, you better give it up, or else I'm going to shoot you and that." And Bond's all like, "Well, no, you're not going to get it that easy." And like Valerie's trying to tell Bond, "Oh, tell him where the check is." Fucking, he's he's one crazy dude. He will fuck you up, sort of thing, and kill you. And she's still sort of like pretending that she loves Bond and that. But Bond, he's all like, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking not going to be giving up this fucking check. I'm do- I've got a mission to sort out," sort of thing. Well, the chief says, "All right, okay then." You sort of like gonna have to make me fucking talk to you, sort of thing. Where Act Three. Get the Act Three going. There you go. Oh, fuck off. There you go. Casino Royale Act Three. Well, the ship's guy knocks Bond out. That the ship's like a bit sort of fucking concerned that they could have killed him. Not like he's not bothered about killing Bond, but he just doesn't want him dead before they question him. And the ship's in a bit of a rush, so he's doesn't want Bond to be unconscious for so long that he can't question him. Well, anyway, Bond comes around in that, where he's a bit groggy, but he clears his head, sort of thing. And the shift tells his fucking guards, like, "Oh yeah, don't go too heavy on him. Like, just slap him around a bit, but don't really hit him too hard that you could knock him out. Just hit him enough that it's it's hurting him, but he's still going to be conscious." Well, the shift sort of like tells Bond, "Oh yeah, if you don't tell me where this check is, I'm gonna have to start torturing you." Well, Bond's like, "Yeah, do your worst." Well, anyway, Valerie Masses gets tied up in that, and then Bond sort of gets a call from Clarence later, where they like sort of tell Bond to just say everything's okay. Don't be fucking saying anything else, or else we'll kill Valerie and you, sort of thing. So Bond pretends like everything's okay and don't worry about it, sort of thing. I'll see you later on for a drink. Get the vodka martinis in. Shaken, not stirred. Well, the shift gets Bond and he tells him, oh yeah, this is just like your last chance, sort of thing. Here we go. I'm gonna get fucking torturing and that. Where he takes the gag off Valerie because he's told her like fucking keep her mouth shut, but you don't really see this in this adaptation of Casino Royale, but in the book and the Daniel Craig film, she is sort of like a double agent, as in like she's just playing her part. She's not really in love with Bond. But in this version, it you don't know because it don't show you. So she might be. But anyway, then this bit is fucking like different from the book because in the book, a bit like with the Daniel Craig film, he gets his ball smashed in while sitting on a chair with the seat cut out. And in the book, he just uses a carpet beater, which is just like a fucking like a tennis racket, but made out of wood. Well, more like a badminton racket made out of wood. All of it, sort of thing, no strings. But in the Daniel Craig film, he uses a rope with a tarred knot at the end that he swings into fucking Bond's balls. But in this version, the balls don't get touched because it's 1954 America and that. It was one of them where ball torture probably was not gonna get through the fucking regulators. So in this version, the sheath gets like a nail cutter and starts to fucking chop fucking Bond's toes. It's like, yeah, you see, like tars Bond up in the bath, sort of thing, where it's a cigar cutter. It's one of fucking it's could be a nail cutter or a cigar cutter or a pair of fucking pliers, sort of thing, but or garden shears, but whatever it is, I think it's some shears. But whatever it is, he fucking starts to just fucking tell Bond, like, yeah, I'm going to chop off your toes and that shit. So he fucking starts to like chop off his fucking toes and that. Where fucking he don't get that many in because Bond's not fucking breaking though. And the chief's like, oh yeah, fucking don't be sort of like a hero and that, you know. Sooner or later, you're gonna tell me the pain's gonna get so much it'll be unbearable and that. So you might as well just tell me now and that because you're not fucking getting out of this room without giving me that fucking check. Well, Bond's like, fuck you. Obviously, you don't say that because it's a 1954 TV production. But anyway, the chief keeps fucking putting him on weight. Valerie sort of like screams and like tells Le Chiffre that she saw Bond with a pair of pliers and that. Well, Schiff goes to like fucking think, oh, right, well, what would he use the pliers on? So they're having a check, and then they sort of like find out, oh, yeah, it's going to be the fucking door thingy. Probably, well, Valerie, like, gives Bond, like, something to cut his, I think it's his, like, cigarette case or something, but he cuts the ropes and that tying him up. And then yeah, Bond, because the shift said he was going to start on Valerie after if Bond didn't like tell him. Well, because Valerie then told him about Bond had a screwdriver, the shift goes out and finds the check and that. Well, at this stage, Bond asks for a glass of water. Because he's probably thinking, right, well, you found the check. I want a glass of water and that. Like, I'm a bit thirsty after I had my toes sort of chopped. I think he only gets one or two chopped. He didn't get them all chopped. But I don't know how badly I don't know if they get fully chopped or just the tips get chopped off, you know, because he's starting like real slowly. But anyway, Bond hides behind the door. So when the guard comes in to get him a glass of water, Bond sort of like beats the crap out of him. Well, I would say beats the crap out of him. He knocks him out sort of like with a punch or two. Gets his gun off the guard and that. And when like the guard doesn't answer to the shift when the shift's like, oh, are you all right, sort of thing. What's happened? Because he goes to investigate where Bond shoots him, and he don't shoot him in the head. He just shoots him in the chest, where the shift goes and sits down because he's not dead. And in the book, Bond is getting tortured, like what they did in the Casino Royale 1967 and the Daniel Craig Casino Royale, where the shift is sort of gambling for Smash, who's the agency before Spectre, because Smash agent sort of forms Spectre in that agency. But anyway, they kill the chief because he was supposed to get the money to him to get these arms. But in this version, Bond kills the chief because he shoots him in that. Like, this bit, the like boosted it up from the book, because I say in the book, Smash agents or slash Spectre agents are sort of like shoot the chief because he didn't get the money to him on time, and they don't fuck around. They're like, we don't care that you're 10 minutes late. You're fucking dead. But anyway, the chief's a bit injured in that. Bond like tells him like, yeah, you're a bit of a fucking cunt and that, and you're not gonna be fucking starting no war, because he wants this 80 million francs to fucking buy some military hardware sort of thing. Well, to start this war. Well, anyway, the chief, he fucking gets up and gets like a sort of little blade thing that he holds it towards Valerie's neck and that, where he says to Bond, like, yeah, you can shoot me, but you're going to be shooting your missus if you're not careful, sort of thing. Well, anyway, he's getting to the door where Valerie sort of, well, Bond sort of like fakes like he's passed out from the pain and exhaustion from getting his toes cut. Well, partly his toes was cut. Well, the chief, seeing this, like, sort of gets a bit relaxed, where Valerie fucking sort of like throws his arm away. So you can see yeah. He like throws his arm away, where he goes to get out of the door. Then Bond gets up and well, not gets up, but sort of sits up and shoots the chief in that, and then gets a shag. It's a one shagger. Probably had to fucking go a bit careful that night with his toes, but yeah, and then like the dude comes on saying, "Oh yeah, that was James Bond, and the next film is something else. But yeah, Casino is with Casino Royale, Ian Fleming. That's it. Pretty good. Mate. It's on YouTube. Cause like it's a Climax. That's the name of the TV sort of production company. I think that made it. But Casino Royale TV, 1954, James Bond. In fact, though, if you put in Casino Royale 1954, it comes up with film and say a great adaptation of Casino Royale. Yeah. Hey, Apex. Yeah, hey, comments, man. Yeah. Jens. And yeah, Peter Lorre, he plays a real good Le Chiffre because he has that sort of like Weasley. He always sort of like played a Weasley sort of character that was always like a bit of a fucking like nasty bastard, and so he plays it really well. Where he's all about fucking making sure like Bond doesn't get fucking the cash that he stole off him and that. And the way he sort of like makes Valerie sort of do what he does. You can tell he's not a nice guy. But anyway, thanks for watching. And next week it should be fucking GoldenEye because I had to do this one because I'm gonna go see if Sasha's up for a film and that. So I'll be on the Sasha Max Splitter channel if he does a film and that in about like 2 hours. But anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.